Hey, everybody, it's the coach. And
from a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the New Orleans Saints. First carry for Carlos Hyde. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, gone. Over the middle, complete. It's Cole. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in.
Pass interference, defense.
So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
Drops it to Jones in the flat. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. On the right side, open is Gesicki. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage, but now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that could be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm a little...
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Evan Ingram, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get scouted up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. Now it's Goff off the bootleg. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. This is 3rd and 1, very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll run it. Here's Hyde. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up.
And how about this, a fake? Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Calvin Pryor. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard. Line.
Nice pick.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. You know, he's already thrown for more yardage in this first quarter than he did all of last week.
And I can be snarky here and say, well, he didn't throw for a lot of yards last week. But the bottom line is he put in a great week of practice and really came out ready to go in this one.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? they've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Ooh, a juke. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Here's Goff now on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Caught. Kelsey, left side. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, first and 10. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. Man, those numbers from last week. What do you call a game like that? Monumental? A career game?
Yeah, every one of those adjectives you can pull up. Monumental, mammoth, massive. But you also know that he wants another one just like it in this game. He doesn't plan on slowing down.
Man, if he duplicates that, that would be history. Sharp's got it, left side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers. It'll be a
9-yard gain that time, and it'll also be the final play of this first quarter. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. To throw, it's Mahomes. Flushed out right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Shaquille Barrett in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see.
Mahomes hit. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A really good pickup of 28 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Now a play fake here on first down. His throw incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here we go now. Green, 90. Green, 90.
Mahomes will try again on second down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. A dump underneath to Jones. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll run it with Jones. Jones breaking from the contact. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special.
And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. Elliott on for the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On second down, Hyde. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. The Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. On first down, Mahomes. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good headed scheme going.
That one complete. He finds Shark. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A very solid gain of 27. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasking.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DJ Chark, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Julian Edelman and the rest of the offense back onto the field now. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them to play like that. That may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Daniil Hunter in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single season sacks. Throwing on third. Gone. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Holding. Offense.
They were looking to throw.
Still
holding at a big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. Third and long. From the gun, here's Gone. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Mahomes now at 200 yards already in this first half, and he's not done yet. 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He's going to go for a big play downfield, and that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
They go play action. Now Mahomes trying to lay one up deep. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back. But that's one step in the proper direction.
Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. Give him 10 yards on the pickup. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. And Elliott puts this one through. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Seattle offense. We take a peek at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And the final 2 weeks, just like a formality pretty much, they're going to be the #1 seed. But there is the matter of that perfect record, 14-0 right now. How might that change how they approach these next 2 games?
And I think what it does is it forces you to come together as a team and as an organization and say, okay, what are we really trying to accomplish here? And what's the best way to reach those goals?
Under review.
For some teams,
after review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road. Partner, if you and I were playing quarterback in this one, we would be really confident right now throwing it to him, wouldn't we?
Yeah, he's been spectacular. He's just saying, hey, I was all state. I'll make it rain out here. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
Wide open receiver complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a 1st down to boot. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Everson Griffin. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
They get it to him running left. He pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's Mahomes, 3rd and goal. Buying time, fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
Should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more. We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down, seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the 1st down.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Mahomes now on 1st down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll make it 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it down to the 32. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They go play fake. Mahomes. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Shaquille Barrett in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Over the middle, hauled in by Shark. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
But if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
To throw on 2nd down is gone. And that's incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now gone. And he'll have his man. That's Edelman. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. They give him a gain of 37. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback. And
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Daniil Hunter in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Handoff comes to Hyde. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Back now here live in New Orleans. 1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. Out of the gun. Goff. He dumps it to Hyde. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a 1st down when you want 3. Get a little bit closer, make it an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
From the red zone now, Goff under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Out to the flat for Hyde. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jordy Nelson with touch. Down number 7 on the year. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. Again, Goff. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief that you still have the lead. But coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they've got a chance to score more points and increase the lead, That's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Ronald Jones. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
You're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Now gone. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The offense on third down tonight, a very anemic, 1 for 9 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. A shotgun snap for Goff. Looking for Edelman, and he hits him. It's complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Goff on first down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding, offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. To the air again. Goff. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Goff throwing again. Over the middle, Julian Edelman. It's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And Nelson's got it here right side. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. The outcome of this one, Well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they let
And this is caught, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
To throw is gone. Caught by Nelson. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, gone. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Here's Goff now on 2nd down. And he's going to go down again. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. 3rd and long. It's Goff. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So a change of possession here on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. On the NFL scoreboard there in the 4th quarter in Philadelphia. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Another victory perhaps in the cards. They're looking as good as anybody as the playoffs draw near. They go play action here on 1st down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time. Mahomes going to throw it here. Shark's got it left side. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. It's a gain of 7, and it'll make it a second down. On second down, here's Mahomes. Steps away to his left. And Callaway taking it in left side. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Mahomes now to throw. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. One last throw here for Goff. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights I just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp, I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo. Shorty wanna me cousin wearing gold. I came up and made it happen, now it's by the stove. Big inside this case is one. Do me dirty, I'ma find you, lay your out on the flow. 19 with a, I got rich by myself. Rather do this alone, I wasn't asking for no help. They keep asking how I'm winning with the card that I was dealt. Boy, I work hard for the seat and I ain't buckling my belt. Call my brother on the phone, he said, broski, you a star. I said, brother, hold it down, soon we'll all be living large. And it's crazy how last year was on my garage. Now I'm in a good position for this life, can't sabotage. I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. Telling on my bros, ain't no but